Thanks for tuning in to the Handheld Gaming Community YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Evercade EXP. I've had it for 45 days and I want to tell you all about it. So now let's look at this device. But first, do you know what an Evercade is? So an Evercade is a device made by Blaze Entertainment. It's a UK company. They have licensed many retro games. They have almost 46 carts so far available for their number of systems. And they're all retro games, all fully licensed, all very legal. And their first device was a device that was also handheld, but it was much more simple. It only had 2 shoulder buttons, not this second set, and it didn't have Wi-Fi, and the screen was lower resolution. Also, it didn't have this Tate mode, and I'll talk more about that later. Then, so they released that in 2020. They released a home console called the VS, or the Versus, in 2021, and then in 2022 is when they released this device. I got this, again, about 45 days ago, and I have been playing it, and I've really liked it. But let me just show you around just so we can kind of get an idea what it does. Now, if we turn this around, you can see that it has a cartridge slot, so you're going to be dealing with mostly physical media for this device and all Evercade devices. So let's go ahead and get a cartridge. Now, the neat thing about these games are that they come out, they come in a case that looks a lot like a Sega Genesis case. And you can see that it has, this one's PEGI rated. It doesn't really matter. They're not region specific. And you can see here that it has 11 games on it. And this is the Namco Museum Collection 2. And then if you flip it over, you can see a list of all the games on that device. Some of the highlights for me are Dig Dug 2 and Galaga. But they're all good games. Oftentimes with the Evercade, you're going to get a cartridge that you are going to have some games that you really know you want to play, but you're also going to have some hidden gems. And that's what I look forward to. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So you have the game cartridge itself, and you also have a full color manual. Now the manual has a little blurb about each of the games. Yeah, Pack Attack, Dig Dug 2, and all the games in the system. But this is kind of neat because you don't still get manuals anymore, do you? Okay, so now look at the cartridge. It's really nice having a physical cartridge, I think. So now we'll slide that in. And now we see all these games in the menu. Speaking of the menu, the EXP has will list all your games in the cartridge slot, but it also has some built-in games. The EXP comes with 18 Capcom games. Namely amongst those are the arcade shooter 1942 through 1944. You have an RPG, Breath of Fire. You have the Mega Man titles, Final Fight, Ghouls and Ghosts, Street Fighter 2, and a number of other games. So you get a lot of really great things there. You also get a Game of the Month. This month is Big Too Small, and as you can see, it's a puzzle game. You also have hidden games. Now, the hidden games are unlocked through a code or just putting in the right cartridge at the right time. So there's lots of interesting ways you can unlock games. I've only unlocked 2 of them. But for now, let's look at the Namco collection that we have inside the system. Let's look at Dig Dug 2. It's one of my favorites. Not as good as Dig Dug 1, but lots of fun nonetheless. All the games are very well emulated and don't have any hiccups or any kind of errors as far as I can see. So we'll hit start, and just forgive me when I'm playing this because I am playing it through a camera screen. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So you can see that the games play really, really well. Blaze makes sure of that. And again, they're all licensed. So while I'm sure you can play these elsewhere, these are 100% legal and support the company, and they also support Blaze Entertainment. I thought this Dig Dug 2 was interesting because you're actually like destroying parts of the island. You can sink enemies that way. But let's go look at the menu. In each of the games, you have an in-game menu, and you have a number of things. A quick save will just quickly save the state of the game into one of the slots it has available. Load last save. So let's say that you're playing a roguelike or some kind of Metroidvania, and you want to go right back to the last save. Let's say you just died, and you don't want to have to go backtrack all the way through the level. And you had created a save right at the beginning of the current floor that you're on. You can load that last save and pick up right where you want to pick up from. So let's say we want to save our Dig Dug progress here, and we'll do that. You can see that we have 6 slots. One of them is designated for a quick save, so anytime you use the quick save function, it'll save there. Then you have 5 other slots you can use as you please. So if we want to save here, we'll just hit A. And we can see that if we go to load, you can see that slot is now occupied by that. And we can return to that anytime we'd like. Now the controls will tell you in each game what button does what. So you can see that we have the D-pad that moves, we have the A button that uses the pump, and the B button that uses the drill. And then you have the select and start functions. Pretty simple. Then you also have some options for display settings, where you can set the ratio. You want to do pixel perfect. I have it just on the original ratio. You can also have it stretch for widescreen if you'd like, but I don't like it when it stretches, so I just keep it on the original. You can have scan lines if you prefer. And then you have the bezel. I have it set for the default EXP bezel. But you have a number of options here. Box art, I don't know what that looks like. We'll have to see. You have reset, which is basically like hitting the reset button on the system, and you'll go back to the first screen. Or if you want to just quit. So let's go ahead and quit. Let's first see what that box art looks like. Oh, it looks like it has like box art from each of the games that they have. That's kind of neat. Let's get this one guy here, then we'll go back to the menu. There we go. That's a more accurate display of how good I am at the game. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll save that because I did okay on that. And now let's go and quit. One of the neat features that this game has, or this system has, is that Tate mode. It's spelled Tate. Some people say Tate, but I think the official way of saying it is Tate. It's Japanese. Now, nothing on the Namco Collection 2 takes advantage of the Tate mode. However, the built-in games for the Capcom do. So now, if we look back over here, and let's go with 1942. So if we select that game, we start, you can see that you have massive bezels, and which is fine. If you've ever played this game on a Game Boy or something like that, not a terrible thing. But I think we can do better, and we can with the Evercade EXP. If you orientate it like this, and then press the T button, it'll go into Tate mode. And all of a sudden now, the screen is now vertically oriented, and you can see the screen a lot better. And then with all these arcade games, you can hit select to add coins, and then start to start player one. Now I warn you, I'm playing this through a camera, so not the best. But you can see a lot more of the screen here. Oh, there we go, I died already. Not good. If you have a lot of nostalgia for retro games, this is awesome. Because, oof. Game over already. So that's Tate mode. It works very, very well. Oops. There we go. And then now we're back to the regular mode. So this is the Evercade EXP. It's a wonderful device. The screen looks great. The speakers sound good. I picked this up at Castlemania Games for $150. It came with the Capcom built-in games. It also came with an IRIM Arcade Collection 1 and obviously the system itself. It uses USB-C, so any of your USB-C chargers will work. You can use a headphone if you have headphones if you like. It does not have Bluetooth, so that's not going to work. It does have mini HDMI, so if you want to hook your system up to a TV, you can certainly do that. And then there's the power button. It's a great system. I highly recommend it. And if you want to check out more, go to evercade.co.uk and you can see more about the system. And you can also see more information about their older systems as well. So this is Joel from the handheld gaming community. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you check out more of our videos.